Some of the greatest bowlers of all time have called themselves a US Open champion. Who is the next to join the list? Witness the moment right now on CBS Sports Network. This is it, bowling fans, the final major of the 2019 season. 5 of the world's best bowlers are here in suburban Charlotte at Victory Lanes in Mooresville, North Carolina. By night's end, only one will make bowling history as the 2019 US Open champion. This is Dave Ryan, joined by my Hall of Fame broadcast partner, Marshall Holman. What a field we have here tonight. All major champions. We start stepladder bowling with a 5th seed young superstar Anthony Simonson from Texas, looking for his 3rd career major against former US Open champ Bill O'Neill. The winner takes on Belmo, Jason Belmonte, with his record 11 career major titles, trying to seal a 5th Player of the Year honor this season. The 2-seed Canadian star Francois Lavoie, 2016 US Open champ, threw a 300 game that night in Vegas. Top seed 2-time major champion Sean Rash, a former rookie and PBA Tour Player of the Year. Now here's Marshall with Sean.
Thank you, Dave. I'm right here with Sean Rash. Sean, you've won 14 times. You've got 2 major titles. You've never won the US Open. What does this opportunity mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. Biggest thing was just getting to the show. This is one of the hardest events of the year, hardest events to win ever on our tour. It would definitely be one of the biggest accomplishments of my career. And 4 great players looking to take you on. Anybody in particular you'd like to take down tonight? I want to take down all 4 of them, but I'm going to bowl one of them. They're all major champions. They're all great players, Rookie of the Years, Player of the Years. One of the greatest of all time with Jason Belmonte. I bowled college against Bill O'Neill, who's been a rival, since college. It's going to be a long night, and hopefully I can bowl one great game and bring home a trophy.
All right. Sean Rash, I think he's ready. Back to you, Dave.
Marsh, I think he is. Most titles without a U.S. Open. How about these legends and Hall of Famers like Earl Anthony? PB3 in the house here last night watching the action. 35 titles, no U.S. Open championship. BV Brian Voss as well, and there's Belmo. Jason Belmonte, the two-hander from down under, looking for his 12th major. It's already a record. We'll see him coming up later tonight. First, it's O'Neill Simonson.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 5 seed from Little Elm, Texas, Anthony Simonson.
He could be the youngest ever with 3 career majors if he can climb the stepladder here tonight.
Pennsylvania, Bill O'Neill.
Against Billy O'Neill from the Philly area. 1 U.S. Open for Bill. Marshall, here we go.
Just talking with Sean Rash, he said in practice, Simonson was looking really sharp.
Let's see if that practice paid off for Simo. Looking for a hit on the 10-pin, he's got it.
Got the messenger strike, strong ball from Simonson. See his ball tracking out to about the 7-8 board, moving back in, and a friendly messenger. Another look at that pinfall. Rash was saying that O'Neill was struggling during practice. We'll see if he figured something out in the last couple minutes.
High hit. And the 3-6 up for Bill O'Neill, 2010 U.S. Open champ. He told us, Marshall, last night, by far the hardest event he's ever bowled. The ups and downs.
Yeah, well, you could.
Valleys. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could bowl a really, really good game and go to another pair, and the pair would be so much different. You might go 279, 159.
Covers, has a mark.
Take a look at the classic style of Bill O'Neill. Walks before the push away. Pass shoulder high. That's how he gets the speed on the ball. And I would put him in the mid-range as far as rev rate. He's certainly not up there with Belmo, but throws a powerful ball.
Left lane. It's a little high. 9-pin stands.
Fortunate, trips the 4, leaves just the 9. He mentioned yesterday that the key to bowling is to find the spot you want to throw to and make the greatest shot you can. You don't get away with small errors on this condition. The ball hooks early if you set it a little bit short, and if you let it go a little wide, it does not recover. So it takes great shot making, great speed control. Should be no trouble.
That 9-pin, Bill told us last night, he really never felt comfortable throughout qualifying and match play. A long, grinding process to get to the TV show. Let's check our lane conditions here, Marshall. The future for the sport oil pattern here tonight. Break it down.
Well, you
for
can
us.
see the dark areas where the oil is. There's options. You can play out and then come in that angle. You can move a little bit deeper and play in that angle, or when they break down, maybe even this far in, coming in abruptly into the pins.
Simonson, a 10-pin stance. A 5-seed, Marshall told us last night, it really check a box to be able to win the US Open for the first time in his career. 3 majors by 22 years old. You had how many? You won by the time you were 21.
I had one. I won one in when I was 21, the Tournament of Champions. It seems like only 43 years ago.
10-pin and the mark for Anthony Simonson. Let's break this young star down here. Marshall, what do you see in this game?
Well, Simonson is he's the two-hander. That's the new in vogue style. He takes both of his hands, gets in a very powerful position, and as he lifts with his right hand, he's pushing off a little with his left hand. Great leverage. The two-handers are able to throw the ball so hard with such a high rev rate, just makes the pins go crazy.
Cross the deck, down goes number 10.
Now the friendly messenger on that left-hand lane, virtually the same hit he had on the right-hand lane. The 10-pin, a lot more stubborn on the right lane. We'll take a look. Is it a head pin that goes to the sideboard? Actually, it isn't. Head pin kicked another pin in. Let's see if we can figure what that pin is. That's the 4-pin. It gets driven into the 10 just enough. Thank you. Oh, that's why.
Wow, he really missed the target there. Could have been a lot worse, just the 1-2. That was way off. What happened?
Well, he knows he has to try something different. He made an adjustment, and he just got the ball right way too early. He moved further in on the lane, and look, when it got out to about the 5 board, and it just cannot recover. Even the high rev players can't recover from there. Easy spare.
Not hurt him like it could have. Bill O'Neill, 11-time tour titleist. One major we told you about. 2 wins this season.
Now Simonson right now has made 3 quality shots. He's got strike, spare, strike. O'Neill is fishing. He's only down by 3 pins, so really hasn't got hurt too bad early in this game.
Dave Ryan joined by the 22-time champ, Hall of Famer Marshall Holman here in Mooresville, North Carolina. We're just outside Charlotte. The 5th and final major of the 2019 season. Numbers for O'Neill.
Much better shot.
That lane, 4-pin up.
And similar to his second frame where he tripped the 4-pin and left the 9, you can see he's shaking his head. He liked that shot off his hand. This ball was projected down the lane properly. Right now he thinks, okay, I got one, and then it snaps.
As you told us, Marsh, last night, the pre-shot routine has got to be so focused because the lanes break down so quickly. As he said to us, in this house, especially on TV, the fronts are going to change fast on the fresh. Next match, and he's trying to find that look to the pocket. Hasn't found it yet.
No. Simonson's got to feel like the way he's thrown the ball with where it's entered the pocket that he should have more than a 4-pin lead. So you can see our win probability. Simonson with a 57.75% probability with that 4-pin lead. In other words, it certainly could go either way. Big shot in the 4th frame.
Uh-oh. Didn't like it. That's why.
Yeah, accelerated past the break point, had no chance to recover. Actually fortunate it stayed Fortunately, it stayed wide. If it had been a little bit further left, he would have left the washout. You could see this ball just get to the right early. Once it gets past about 8 board, no chanceville right there.
4 and covers. So the bowlers, as they thought last night, would not find the 1-3 pocket and not have a lot of strikes, but they are not leaving open frames and covering well. Their mistakes haven't hurt them too badly yet.
Yeah, and from what we've seen on this pattern, the fresh has been the most difficult time to try and score. As they throw balls down the lane and move the oil down the lane, it kind of builds up a little bit of an area, give them a better chance to strike. Simonson on his good lane. That time the 10
on
pin.
the 10 pin. I can't believe it didn't go down.
Nope, that one came in just a little bit late. 6 pin went to the sideboard and touched the 10, but not enough. We'll see. Watch the 2nd pin from the right. That's the 6 pin. Doesn't get enough of the 10 pin to knock it down.
But stays clean.
Yeah, and the key to bowling well in a U.S. Open condition is great shot making. Right now, Simonson is doing it.
We expected a grind out type match. We expected it to be close. Match play this week, part of that long, arduous process to make the show a split with Anthony Simonson.
Look at that adjustment. I think he changed balls. That might have been a urethane ball. He moved well to the right, threw the ball over the 2nd arrow. You've got to be willing to change zones. And O'Neill did. Moved way to the right on the lane. Threw the ball much more direct.
His first strike, 5th frame, Marsh, and couldn't come at a better time in this very tight first match. Stepladder bowling from Mooresville, North Carolina.
Be interesting to see if he takes that same trajectory, that same line on this lane. And he does. Will that get there?
Gotta really hurry.
2-8-10.
2-8-10. Difficult spare to convert for Will O'Neill.
Yeah, borderline impossible. This ball gets right. He knows it immediately. That just, it wasn't the shot he wanted to throw. He needed to go more direct. That ball got into that slick zone. And now it looks like 9's the best he can do.
Indeed. First open. Each bowler flirting with that open frame, and O'Neill is the first victim so far. Match number 1 underway. It's the U.S. Open on CBS Sports Network.
All right, thank you, Dave. Here with Jason Belmonte, the most dominant player over the last decade without a U.S. Open victory. Big moment for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of storylines today that could be big moments. And for me, it's, you know, it can tick a lot of boxes. But unfortunately, you know, you can't be thinking about all the boxes you're going to tick until you get out into the lanes and do your job. So it's going to be right there in the back of my mind, you know, what this means to me. But until I am lifting the trophy, my job is to just execute good shots.
He knows how to do that. Thank you, Jason. Back to you, Dave.
Hey, Marshall, thanks. Belmo awaits the winner of this match as the 3 seed here in Mooresville, North Carolina tonight. 2019 U.S. Open, the 5th and final major of the tour season. Simonson by 15 pins. The battle of survival with these incredibly challenging lane conditions at the U.S. Open. His 6th frame works on a spare, hurries and makes the 1-3 pocket, all 10 back. Anthony Simonson became the youngest player ever to win 2 majors. Won the 2019 Players Championship earlier this year, defeating Jason Belmonte by 20 pins title match. At age 19, won the 2016 USBC Masters in Indianapolis. Oh, he was pumped back then. He's an ancient 22 now.
Yeah.
Great young superstar on tour, trying to become the youngest ever to win 3 majors at 22. 19 years old, youngest ever to win a major championship at the USBC Masters. That was something. He hopes for more history here tonight.
Yeah, he's in the driver's seat right now. Can extend the lead by another 10 pins with a strike here on the left-hand lane. To spin, it's good lane. And it remains.
Tap on the 10 and 25-pin lead for Simonson. He's in good shape.
Simonson now leads by 25. O'Neill bowling 7th frame.
High flush. That is a bowler's best friend. Right now, he knows it's great. Happy it didn't hook just a little bit more. O'Neill with a ball change.
High shot. Avoided the baby split, but still a 3-pin up.
I got air.
For Bill O'Neill, and he's frustrated, you can tell.
Well, you just heard him. He said, I have air, which means he has nothing. He likes it right now, but it starts hooking early. Ends up going right through the face, leaves the 3-pin, which is an easy conversion, but O'Neill needs strikes right now, not spares.
Had the mark, single pin spare conversion. But Simonson has the big lead, works on the double for his 8th frame coming up after Bill O'Neill and his 8th. Only 1 strike for Bill.
And I would guess he's going to try something a little different on this shot as well. He's, you know, the game is search and seek. You've got to find the proper line, the proper speed to that pocket. And right now, O'Neill not doing it.
Left lane, that looks a lot better.
There he is.
And a big sigh of relief for Bill O'Neill. He told us last night there'll be a lot of educated guessing for me. Sometimes you take the educated out because there just is straight up guessing on these tough conditions. And that was prophetic from Bill O'Neill last night. He knew it would be a challenge. Pace and max scores. This to go up by 35 in the 8th for Simonson.
Couple strikes can wrap this up for Simonson. Will that get back? Oh, yes. It got back great. I'll tell you right now, for Simonson, after this great shot on the right-hand lane, it makes a hard charge back into the pocket. All this young man needs to do right now is continue to make good shots.
He said it was last night, got to fit the ball in such a small window with these tough conditions. And on the fresh, he felt a huge challenge, but he's answered that.
Yeah, he was
at the second half of the match.
Before the game started, talking yesterday, it seemed like O'Neill was going to be the favorite to win this match. He doesn't like that off his hand, but look at that ball held. That was left off his hand, and he's more shocked than anybody.
Up by 45 pins.
Take a look at this delivery. You could see the, well, trust me, this ball was left off his hand, and he thinks right now it's going through the face. But no, it goes a little bit longer down the lane. Hey, look at that, it's perfect. Not too many shots cut short this week, held pocket. Maybe Simonson's found something.
Right lane for O'Neill, and that's a lot better. But might be too little too late.
It looks like it will be, Dave. 214, the best O'Neill can shoot, and right now Simonson working at a 229 pace, I believe. O'Neill could still put pressure on him. If he strikes out, get to 214, and Simonson had a huge split in the 10th frame, he could still walk away with the 5th place. Come on. And now it is Anthony's game.
That's sick.
Quality shot from O'Neill, but that's the 3rd time he's come in high and either left the 9-pin or the 4-pin on that shot.
2 titles this year for Bill. Chesapeake Open and the PBA Hall of Fame Classic in Arlington, Texas. 1 title last year.
Yeah, and then the fill ball. You can throw the fill ball anyway, it always strikes. Simonson's job right now, stay in touch with his touch. He needs to keep his feel The game's been won, but this is just setting himself up for the next game.
Because Belmo awaits.
And that could put a seed of doubt in right there. Be interested to see how Belmo attacks the lanes. You know, it's not.
Should I just throw a different ball? No, I seriously don't think I will. What? Why? Why what?
Having some fun with Bill O'Neill and his tour reps here.
I need 2 of them.
Yeah, he was testing the pocket.
Anthony Simonson, the 5th seed, has knocked off Bill O'Neill, the 4 seed tonight here in North Carolina. And now it's Simonson and Belmonte, the next match. It's the 2019 US Open here on CBS Sports Network. One match down here at the 2019 US Open. Anthony Simonson had advanced to take on the number 3 seed, 11-time major champion Jason Belmonte here in Mooresville, North Carolina. Welcome back to Victory Lanes. Dave Ryan alongside the Hall of Famer Marshall Holman, 22-time champ. You know a thing about victory, don't you? Without question. What a star-studded field we've got here today, led by Jason Belmonte, trying for a record 12th major title tonight.
Unbelievable. I mean, everyone is a multi-major title winner. Now, but the 2 people that don't have the U.S. Opens, that's Rash and Belmonte. Will they be duking it out later tonight? That's a long way from now.
These are very challenging conditions. Even the great Jason Belmonte will certainly be tested tonight. How do you think he'll fare with the lane conditions here tonight, Marshall?
Got to make your decision quickly as to how you're going to approach the lanes, and it is an educated guess. And so Belmonte will be doing that, and they're all trying to get to Francois Lavoie and then to Sean Rash.
We can't wait. Great match coming up here in suburban Charlotte. Belmo has got his fans. The top-ranked player in the world going for a 5th Player of the Year honor this season. Takes on Simonson. A couple two-handers next on CBS Sports Network. Our Go Bowling Road to the finals. 226-193 victory. Anthony Simonson, the two-hander from Texas over Bill O'Neill. Belmo is next. The lanes aren't the only place Jason Belmonte can throw a strike. September 4th, Jason and Go Bowling NASCAR driver Eric Almirola teamed up at the Charlotte Motor Speedway to attempt the world's fastest strike. Yes, 140 miles an hour. Watch this, the pins explode for the passenger side. Jason's attempt, make no doubter. Now that is some shrapnel. And Marshall is joined now by Eric. Guys.
All right, thank you, David. Eric, so how did you come up with the idea for the world's fastest strike?
I didn't come up with the idea. It was Belmo. We went to Chris Paul's bowling tournament, his charity bowling tournament back in January in Houston, Texas, and Belmo was like, man, I want to ride in your car. And he said, actually, I want to ride in your car, and I want to try and bowl out of your car. And I was like, well, all right, let's come up with some ideas and let's try it. And we got some ideas and logistics worked out, and we were able to go to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and Go Bowling got involved, and we put it all together. And I was nervous, actually. I had a lot of pressure on me to try and actually get it done.
I watched it last week. I loved it, and I could see you guys were both nervous. What makes bowling and NASCAR such a good fit?
Well, bowling is just a great family event, and it's a great way to get out and go have some fun, and NASCAR's the same way. I grew up in Tampa, Florida, so hot summer days, my mom would drop me off at the bowling alley and tell me to go bowl, and you know, I've grown up loving going to bowl, and then, you know, through racing got partnered up with Go Bowling, and then met a lot of these bowlers, and now me and Belmo have created the world's fastest strike, and now the whole world's seen it.
Well, they have, and I thank you. It was great entertainment for me. If you haven't seen it, World's Fastest Strike, you can see it on YouTube. It's just amazing. Thank you so much, Eric. Back to you, Dave.
Okay, Marsh, thanks. Great to have Eric on board. Most all-time major championships. How about that for Belmo? Record 11 going for the dozen tonight. Earl Anthony, ADW, Mike Albee, and Walter Ray Williams Jr., as we talked about, was here last night watching competition. A lot of fans wanted selfies with Walter Ray Williams Jr. Also saw Parker Bone III here. Lots of bowling royalty here. Speaking of which, Belmonte and Simonson ready to go. Match number 2. Cool interview with Eric there. That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. And, you know, as I watched that World's Fastest Strike, and I was nothing but a fan. I mean, it was just so cool. You know, watching a bowling ball hit pins at 140 miles per hour, that's intense.
I agree. Left lane, Simo gets us going. Match 2. That's a high shot.
Looks like he's already moved further left in the lane.
Eric, by the way, drives the Go Bowling number 10 car for Stewart & Haas Racing and finished 4th at Phoenix and Talladega earlier this year.
He's made a ball change. He's moved further left on the lane. Didn't project the ball far enough to the right. Leaps at 3-6-10. Goes to the spare ball. Look out. And gets very lucky. Very open fortunate
for you.
But it should have been. You see, he comes in too high on the 3-pin. Love tap. These are the same 2 bowlers that bowled in the tournament in Akron earlier this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 3 seed from Orange, New South Wales, Australia, Jason Belmonte.
Already a spectacular Hall of Fame caliber career for the 36-year-old from New South Wales, Australia. 22 titles, 11 majors, and with a win tonight. Very likely a 5th Player of the Year award.
Yes, very interested to see where he tries to attack the lanes from. Way inside.
Almost first shot. Wow. Clearly the right path to the pocket, Marshall.
Good guess, Belmo.
Any player rolls a 300 game during our telecast tonight will receive a $10,000 bonus courtesy of GoBowling.com. Visit GoBowling.com to find local bowling centers, get tips from the pros, and for all the latest news and information about your favorite sport, bowling.
I believe the last
seemed very optimistic with you in the interview. I thought in our meeting with him last night, he seemed relaxed, at peace as usual. We've seen him so many times before majors and big events. He has that approach of confidence. It just exudes around him. He loves these moments, doesn't he?
He does. He is. Back in my day, had I have done that, I would have had all sorts of emotion and very probably would have lost some concentration. Belmo does not let that happen.
With his spare ball, takes care of business with the 8-pin. He told us that exact thing last night, Marsh, that it's the mental and physical balance that has made him successful.
And I said it last night. As great as he is physically, I think he's even better from the mental standpoint, which is a heck of a combination.
That says a lot. No doubt. But Anthony Simonson will have a thing or two to say about Belmo advancing.
And that's the 3, the 4, the 6, the 7, and the 10. Didn't get a break that time. That ball cut in right through the heart of the lane. Not unusual for Simonson or Belmonte to lead that kind of a configuration. Their balls come in at such an extreme angle. It's kind of like live by the power, and sometimes you die by the power. This is makeable. It's just like the baby split with a little company on the left side. And that's how you make it.
Wow, what a shot from Simonson. And that's a mark in a U.S. Open you'll remember for a long time.
Take a look at this ball. Gets to the right pin, the 3-pin, goes into the 4. The 4 takes out the 7. Thank you. Great shot.
Big time shot.
They bowled for the title of the PBA Players Championship. Simonson was the victor. Great shot on the left-hand lane. First time in the pocket this game. You know, you can lose momentum with an open, but you can gain a lot of momentum picking up a tough split. Take a look at the 4-pin or the 6-pin, the second to the right. It just chops out that 10-pin. Belmonte has done absolutely nothing wrong in his first 2 shots. Just unfortunate not to strike in the second.
Right lane, 3rd frame for Belmo. He is locked in early as the lanes continue to transition on this challenging pattern.
Carbon copy of his first shot. We'll take a look at Belmo in slow motion. Very deliberate, doesn't move the ball until he's just in the second step. Powerful two-handed delivery and huge leverage point at the point of release.
He's way inside.
And this was a carbon copy of his shot in the first frame. Coming off the solid 8. Belmo's job, throw the same shot that he threw in the second.
Left lane, that's crossing over, he didn't do it.
3-6, 9-10. Ball did not get projected far enough to the right. And the lanes may be, and probably are, transitioning even more. The oil is dissipating in the front end. This ball not far enough to the right and leaves a mess. I mean, this is a very difficult spare. The reason it's so tough is because there are a myriad of ways you can miss it. Got to get the ball to the right-hand side of that 3-pin, have enough power to come back and get the 9-pin. He's going with the spare ball.
Whoa, wraps around the 10. It's an open.
And that
opens
the fortunate
for
break that
Simonson.
Simonson got in the first frame with a 3-6-10. Belmonte does not get that same break on the same lane. Pin goes around the 10-pin, doesn't pop back out like it did for young Simonson. Anthony working on a strike can really put the pressure on Belmonte right here.
Win probability numbers, look at that. Go up 17 in the fourth frame. That's a nice shot, though, 3-6-10.
And that's in the fourth frame, that's 3 out of 4 shots that Simonson's thrown that have gone through the face. He just made the 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. So this is the same shot without the 4 and the 7. Still very difficult. Nicely done.
But remember this moment because he couldn't quite take advantage of the open.
Yeah.
With back-to-back jacks, strikes to widen the lead. So gets his mark.
Looked good on this left lane in his last shot.
Anthony told us last night, doesn't really have any words to describe what it would mean to win this event. Trying to check that big box.
Tickles him
PBA
over.
US Open champ, and that's how you do it with shots like that. All 10 down. These are very challenging conditions, Marshall.
There's no doubt. We talked earlier about them starting in this area and here. Well, now they're over here. The lanes are changing. Well, what makes it so difficult is that the front ends, the lanes are so sensitive, both to the speed.
Sorry? Okay. Thank you.
Speaking with tournament director Kirk von Kruger, his
Did he want a re-rack?
audio wireless mic pack came loose there, so to readjust that. And
I didn't like the rack anyway. So.
I was asking for a re-rack. Now we're ready to resume.
Come on.
Right through the face.
Happen.
4, 6, 7, 9, 10, and
close.
he's not even sure. We'll take another look. Ball just faces up early. It didn't get to the break point that he was trying to get it to. Now he's
Got a lot of lumber to cover here, partner.
hit 8, maybe. Oh, he's going for it.
Cross deck.
And really unlucky. That's where you have to hit it to try and make it.
Almost converted.
Generally, you go for the 3 pins on the right and try and bounce one of those in to get 9. This is the only way you can make it is to go to the right, the left-hand side of that 4-pin and knock it over. And really, he's nothing but bad breaks right now. But it's still in the wood.
Belmo has got to flip the script in a hurry. Down by 19, a couple of opens. 6 frame, Belmonte, it's a high shot again. 3-6, 9-10. PBA Tour Commissioner Tom Clark is here.
He's a bowling fan too.
Big bowling fan.
You bet
Very
he
active
is.
on social media. He's everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Got to like all those tweets and Facebook
Belmonte's
posts.
going to have to make some big adjustments. He has lost the pocket. He had it the first 3 frames, and looks like the lanes are transitioning even further. He missed this earlier, makes it this time.
19-pin lead for Simonson. He'll try to close out the world's #1 player in the second half of match number 2. It's the US Open. All smiles, Anthony Simonson for now. 19-pin lead, midway point match number 2 here from Mooresville, North Carolina. The 2 seed is Francois Lavoie from Quebec City. 2016 US Open champ. We're through a 300 game in the semifinals. Joined now by Marshall Holman.
All right, thank you, Dave. I'm here with Francois Lavoie. Now, Francois, it's admittedly been a tough year for you. Are you going to draw from your 2016 300 and U.S. Open victory to help you out this evening?
Yeah, those are good memories for sure. It's it's something to not really think about, but it gives me a little bit of confidence going into it. I know I've been here before, and I know what I need to do. I just need to stay in the moment and go through my process, and I think everything will be fine.
Okay, another confident player. We'll see how it goes. Back to you, Dave.
All right, Marsh, the 2 seed, Francois Lavoie. He made such magic in Vegas back in 2016. Looking for his 4th career title and 2nd major. There's Simonson up 19. That could be 29 with a strike. His 6th frame. Which he does with power. He shreds the rack, no problem in that 1-3 pocket, and up by 29 pins.
Well, that'll go a long way to beating Jason Belmonte as he just comes out of commercial break and makes a great shot to get the first double.
Ball change.
Oh, and he did make a ball change.
Beat Belma by 14 pins in match play. This lengthy marathon to make the 5-bowler TV show. Left lane, Simo, double wood, 2-8
Well,
up.
I'll tell you what, right now, all the breaks have been for Anthony Simonson. That could have easily been the 2-8-10. He just leaves the 2-8. Got that 3-6-10, the love tap on the 10-pin in the first frame, so a little serendipitous for our 22-year-old friend, 2-time major champion, looking to make it 3. Stop, and it does.
Which it does, 2-8 covers, and he stays clean. 11th major for Belmo, 36 years old. He made history earlier this year, winning number 11 PBA World Championships. Beat Jacob Buttriff, 236, 227 to capture the title at the legendary Thunder Bowl lanes in Allen Park, Michigan, outside Detroit. Belmo did it. But to win here tonight is going to take a huge challenge. Look at the deficit, 27 pins. He's had 2 opens in this match with Simonson. Still a very good chance, even with a loss here, to be Player of the Year in 2019.
Completely changing the trajectory, moving outside to around the first arrow.
What a change.
What a great ball change and great adjustment on the lane. If it doesn't work in one area, lane shift, try another one.
Urethane ball and a big switch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, that
pitch like a
shocked
right
me, Dave. I was not,
Thank you. Yeah,
I
it's
wasn't
not
looking
on
for that. That's why I'm up here talking, and he's down there playing. Well, just one of them.
We heard him speaking with his tour reps in the commercial break that, look, it's time to go for broke. And he wasn't kidding.
Yeah. All right, it's
Scores.
his biggest shot of the game right now for Belmo.
Strike here cuts it to 17 and makes things very interesting
It
for
certainly
the final frames.
would announce his presence to the young Simonson.
He really needs this one.
It's high. It's high. That ball was left of his target.
Good try.
It just would not hold.
Worked on one lane.
Yeah, but the shot on the right-hand lane was a board or two to the right of that at the laydown.
.47 stand, he can't cover. It's another open frame, and Simonson sees that lead balloon to 41 pins.
We'll take a look at the differences of how Belmonte played these lanes. That's the 5th frame. Look where he's standing. Look where he's projecting the ball. Moves to the extreme right side of the lane and plays straight down about the 5-6 board. The versatility is there, but the shot on the left-hand lane goes through the face. And even with that errant shot from Simonson, he's going to waltz his way right in to the semifinal match against LeBlanc.
Light hit way off the target there, but a huge lead this late in the match.
It's not. I mean, it's not done. I mean, Simonson can still shoot. Belmonte, excuse me, can still shoot 182, and if Simonson were to open in the 9th and the 10th, it's still possible. I hope my buddy Mike Durbin is watching. He's the first man I did television with back 20+ years ago, and Mike used to always say, if you can do it with a pencil, you can do it with a ball. So it's mathematically, although you can see the probabilities, only an 11.6% chance for Belmonte to come back.
The U.S. Open is on the move. Next year's event takes place in February. Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska. It'll be the 5th PBA event of the year and the 3rd major. Learn more right now at bowl.com. February 16th through the 23rd, 2020 in Lincoln, Nebraska, home of the Huskers and great bowling. 10 pin.
Good shot. That ball a little more direct. May have made another ball change. And a little faster down the lane. The cover right here would have shut the match out. Now there's just that little glimmer of life. Right now, Simonson, if he opens in the 10th frame, the 9 counts, it's 178. Belmonte can strike in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and get the fill for 182.
Unexpected whiff on the 10th.
Very unexpected. And I know from the bowler's perspective, when that happens, it's like a bolt of energy into your system. It's like, I still got a chance. I still got a chance. Give himself room to release the ball down the lane.
Sorry, Jason, there's no pins
out
on the
of the
right
way.
lane. There's no pins on the right lane.
Belmonte mentioning there were no pins in the right lane. It didn't cycle properly, and that's a little bit of a distraction.
Absolutely.
So
he needs complete focus right here.
And now he's going to get more of a distraction because there's some kind of a mechanical issue.
The right lane now.
There we go.
Down. There we go. And we are ready to resume.
This is just another test of his mental abilities to be able to throw that out of the side, focus in, play in the outside trajectory. Needs to get this ball further down the right, but not too far.
He's got to have this one.
And that's the difference of just like a half a board. You could see him smiling because he liked that off his hand. He had to make sure he didn't get the ball too far to the left like he did in the 8th frame. This ball just a pinch further right. Right now it looks pretty good, but it never picks up the roll. And that will seal his fate.
Only got 8 there.
Thank you,
so Jason Belmonte trying for a 12th major and a 23rd career title. It's not going to happen tonight. Anthony Simonson is going to take this match and take on the number 2 seed, Francois Lavoie of Canada, next.
That's just an area check. He's trying something a little different. Match has been won.
Can you grab all my stuff for me?
mate.
Thanks.
And not unusual to see a low game, but kind of unusual to see it out of the line.
We said, after watching the bowling, after speaking with these great bowlers last night, that the challenging conditions would offer some interesting television. As has been the case. This one's been wrapped up for Simonson. And Lavoie is next. Sean Rash is the top seed, bidding for his third major tonight. Sean has never won a U.S. Open. Neither has Simonson. Maybe that changes tonight. Simonson knocks off the world's #1 player and likely player of the year in 2019, Jason Belmonte. The young Texan will now take on Canada's best, Francois Lavoie, next from Mooresville. A grind-out victory for Anthony Simonson, 187-148. What a shot. Jason Belmonte had 4 open frames. Simonson moves on. U.S. Open regarded as the toughest test in bowling, as Bowl TV's Emil Williams Jr. tells us. This week was no different.
Only 144 bowlers earn a spot into the U.S. Open, and for those who do, they know they are up for a test unlike any in the sport of bowling. Right from the start, this year's tournament proved it would be another difficult test for the world's greatest bowlers.
It's the U.S. Open. All right, first of all, it's the U.S. Open, and we know it's challenging. But this is physically challenged because you got to throw it over the left gutter, and that's in game 4. You got 4 more games to go.
Over the course of the week, some were able to momentarily tame the brutal conditions that would produce a sublime moment that would last with them for years to come. But those fleeting moments were usually followed by moments of equal or greater humility. After the 5-day, 56-game marathon was over, 5 bowlers were left standing, each with an opportunity and looking to claim the coveted and symbolic green jacket at the U.S. Open. And that winner will be added to bowling's elite list of who have conquered bowling's greatest challenge and earned the eternal title of U.S. Open champion.
And he got it! There it is, second U.S. Open. Yes! 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 You better believe he did it!
Oh, that's really good, baby.
That's it. Oh my God, he almost missed it.
He's got himself the 2018 U.S. Open Championship. Great moments in the past and tonight as well in Mooresville, North Carolina. Simonson, Lavoie, it's on the way.
Just gonna say,
Randy Thompson, president of the BPAA. Night's End. Who is going to get that green jacket and the trophy? That's the question.
For the gutter ballers. Let's go. Come on.
Ready for our next match.
very interesting watching the warm-up and the dialogue between Francois and his ball rep. There was a lot of
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 2 seed from Canada, Francois Lavoie.
You were saying?
As I was saying, there was a lot of strategy being discussed between Lavoie and his ball rep staff. And, you know, with just a few practice shots, there's not a lot of time to tinker.
I thought it was very interesting, Marshall. You said to me in the break, you like Lavoie's chances because?
Because he's the best player as far as direction goes. He doesn't have the biggest hand, but he's accurate.
First shot, 2C.
Beautiful shot, leaves a ringing 10.
Speaking of that conversation.
If I don't like it,
I think he's going to start the left leg.
Yes.
Going to finish on right.
Yes. I'm going to start.
You're going to start?
Yes.
I think it's a deal where
Keep going or
keep moving or you move it. So.
Hang on, he makes it. You could see the look on his face. It was a look of a little uncertainty, and you know, at the start of the game, The other guy's been out there for a game, and Francois is just trying to find something early. Very good opening shot with the ringing 10.
Lavoie disappointed in his season so far, but boy, could he flip the script tonight with a win here in North Carolina. Simonson trying to climb the ladder to glory.
Another good break for Simonson.
Oh, that scout got it, didn't it? Just enough for the number 10 to topple.
Take another look. Let me try and figure out what pin that was that came around and got it. Is it the head pin? It most certainly is. The head pin gets turned around, comes back. Well, just doesn't need a lot of energy, just that much.
Any player rolls a 300 game during tonight's telecast will receive a $10,000 bonus courtesy of GoBowling.com. Visit GoBowling.com to find local bowling centers, get tips from the pros, and for all the latest news and information about your favorite sport, bowling. And watching some great bowling from Simo. Left lane, all 10 back, 60 feet to success. Marshall Holman.
It was. I'll tell you, that ball held on. Just his shot on the right lane a little light. Got the nice roll of the head pin for the messenger. Left lane a little bit too flush, but still 10 down. So he's making good shots, and he's got the breaks going his way.
Second frame, right lane. Lavoie, all 10 back. Looks locked into the 1-3 pocket early here.
It sure does. Take a look at Lavoie's starting position. He's quite a bit to the left side of the lane. His laydown is about at 20. Gets about to 9 or 10. That's quite a bit of hook for Francois.
We asked him last night, how many times did you get asked about that 300 game? 2016 US Open, he said, if I'm in a bowling center, every single
A lot. Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad thing to be asked.
No. Plus he won.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Left lane.
That's got to stay. Yeah, that was left off his hand. He pinched it.
10.
There just aren't enough frames out there to make errant shots, but it's so easy to do. And the reason the ball goes left off his hand is because he knows if he gets it too far to the right, he's got no chance to recover. So he kind of steered that ball a little bit. Just when I was saying he's the guy with the best direction, not so much on that shot. Important spare. Look out.
Does cover.
Oh.
Gets just enough with 10.
Yeah.
It's his first national TV show since 2016 when he won that US Open, which was his first title.
That's hard to believe. I mean, he looked so good in that tournament, and we just thought that it was just going to be, you know, the start of him becoming, you know, very much of a dominant player.
We talked about the mental game being so important. Really frustrating season so far, but boy, that could change tonight. The question is, can anyone stop the Simo train? Simonson. Bring it 10 pin.
Good shot. We'll take a look at the 6 pin. It's going to go around the bottom of the 10 pin, and unlike higher scoring conditions, you don't switch. You don't switch balls. You don't switch lines when you leave solid 10s. You know, sometimes the guys on a higher scoring pace, they're looking for just the right entry angle to get that strike. Here, it's more important just to put your ball in position. If you can hit the pocket 8, 9, 10s in a game, 5, 10 times in a game, and get a couple of doubles or a double here and there, could very well be enough to win.
Win probability there for Simonson. 57+%. Interesting process every year, he told us before the US Open. A couple weeks out, he is not touching a bowling ball. Full hard week of practice.
Gotta hurry, no way.
Way off the mark.
1, 2, 4, 6, 10, the mega washout.
That is a classic washout.
He loses 5 pins in count. And without making it, he will be in the rears this game. That ball got too far to the right. You know, to draw an analogy to golf, this is like playing a US Open golf tournament where you got to hit the fairway.
Can't cover. And it is an open frame, and that hurts. And Lavoie on the bench now sees himself up 8 pins in the early stages of this match.
And Lavoie, after 3 frames, he's had 2 shots solid in the pocket. That last shot went a little high on him. No matter where you're playing the lanes, you've got to make great shots. You've got to hit your target. You've got to have the right rotation and the right speed. Any small deviation, you can be in big trouble. That's why.
Target 2, 1, 2, 4 up. Francois told us last night about his rev rate being amongst the lowest on tour, and that caused him some problems early in the season, right?
Yeah, and he tried to change to become more of a power player, and he just ended up having to go back to, basically dancing with the girl he brung. He is who he is. He's not going to turn himself into a power player. He's got to stick with his own kind of game plan.
One, two, three, he's got it. He tried to lower his ball speed, change his physical game, and went right back to what has made him so successful in the past.
Yeah.
It's working here.
We'll take a look at Lavoie. A nice classic game, very simple, fairly high backswing. And even though he's a lower rev player, he's not a low rev player. He's just lower than the mega crankers. He still gets quite a bit out of that ball. That ball just sailed too far to the right. And I think, a lot of times if you go high on one lane, it's easy to go light on your next shot because it's almost a subconscious adjustment for the other lane.
Big change, win probability, left lane, all 10 back. So if you're unsure.
Dominant player of the last decade, Belmonte, who couldn't find anything, and he tried. He moved all over the lane, looked like he found something, but it didn't work out. So it's very, very difficult. You just do the best you can. There's another big mistake for Simonson. That's a 3-6 with the 4-7.
Here we go. Marshall, survival. We thought this was going to happen tonight.
Watch
there are going to be some
this ball starts
difficult
looking
leaves.
now. It's once again, it's like the baby split. You need to get the ball to the right of that 3-pin, throw the 3-pin into the 4 and into the 7, and you could see that he's just devastated.
Got a lot to cover. Cross lane does it. What a pickup, what a spare. For Anthony Simonson, big time conversion.
Excellent shot. He's making this look easy. That's the second time he's made that similar configuration. Saving energy, saving momentum.
And
there's
off the mark.
There's another one.
Pretty good.
It's a highlight reel. He comes in high on one lane, comes in light on the other lane. It's stereotypical bowling on brutal conditions. This is what can happen to the best players. Needs to get that ball to the left of that 2-pin, slide it into the 10. He's been a split-making machine. Can he make this one?
Tough conversion, whiffs the 2, leaves them both, loses count. 19-pin lead now for Francois Lavoie. He's in great shape here in Mooresville, North Carolina, hoping to get a win in match number 3 at the US Open. Lavoie by 19 pins. Moments ago, speaking with his ball reps, Hall of Famer Doug Kent and Jim Callahan.
Well, from the 2 shots I threw with that one, I moved 7 with my feet. So I'm probably around 18, 19 on the right lane.
Really good with your hand that time too. That's the key. Just being really good with your hand. Just let it bleed off it. I'm sorry, Doug. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to get it to bleed off of that spot. Control the pocket.
Yeah.
By the way, hit the 1-3.
Yeah.
That's all we're trying to do. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, hit the 1-3. That's good advice. Wants to be soft with his hand. Keep projecting the ball down the lane properly. It's such a balance trying to get speed and accuracy and revolution.
Sixth frame. Looks for a double here.
Increases lead by 10 with a strike.
Go up by 29, and he's got that with another strike on the right lane. Relaxed, confident, in a groove right now. '16 Rookie of the Year. The star-studded field here tonight in Mooresville. So many honors, awards on tour.
The Harry Golden Rookie of the Year. Harry Golden was the tournament director on tour for many, many years, and a dear friend of mine and to all bowlers.
Let's for the turkey here. Got it. Left lane magic for Francois Lavoie, up by 39 pins.
That was a little magical. As Lavoie is watching this ball roll down the lane, he's got to be thinking to himself, stop hooking. Comes in a bit high. Fortunate, gets that kick of the 4-pin. Now finds himself 39 pins ahead of a struggling Simonson. Good adjustment.
That sure was. Didn't look like any struggle with that shot as he just crushes the 1-3 pocket. He told us last night the hardest mental grind he's ever had to go through in his career. And now he's really tested.
Yeah, he's moved even further left. He's finishing in front of the ball return, has to drift to the left in order to get himself in a position to project the ball over the 5th arrow.
So many big wins already in young Anthony Simonson's career. The 5th seed here tonight in North Carolina.
Almost a must strike. And it's
right. A big 4 instead.
Yeah, right
I made it a
heart.
few games further than I anticipated, so that's good.
He made it a few games further than I anticipated. You know, he really was concerned about bowling on the fresh, and he did get through the first 2 matches, but it certainly doesn't look like he's going to survive Francois Lavoie. I almost made a hybrid of their names.
It looks really good for Francois. Looks for the 4-bagger, 8th frame to go up by 63. Smooth and easy.
Yeah, great shot.
Just avoiding the 7-10. That's the good news. Just a 10 up and a single pin spare conversion on the way.
Yeah, he's at this point in the game, you know, just keep it in play. He's fine. We'll take a look. The 7-10's going to stare at him, but just at the last minute, 7-pin goes away. There were a lot of single pins missed, even by really good spare shooters this week. But Lavoie makes easy work of the 10-pin.
Early in the year, as he told us, Marsh, last night, all the struggles and the tour reps, coaches from Team Canada, everyone was weighing in trying to help him make adjustments. He said, hang on a minute, let's go back to what made me successful before.
Right.
Physically, and then he added a lot more mental strength to his game, he told us. And clearly it's worked out.
He got a lot of that mental strength at Wichita State in college.
Lives there now full time.
Comes in light, leaves a 2-pin. Right now he's just trying to stay loose. He knows he's going to win this game. He's virtually out of the wood. Further to the right than the last shot on that lane where he tripped the 4-pin. Leaves the easy 2-pin to convert.
Victory lanes, as we've seen, playing really tough this week. Nevertheless, did have 5 300 games. We checked the Bowl TV highlight of the week. Amateur Cameron Foster first during the Round 2 of qualifying with a 300 game on Saturday. Nice.
Powerful.
Stephen Earhart had won round 3 of qualifying. That was on Sunday. He's pumped. Bill O'Neill. Round 2 of match play. Got it done as well with a perfect game. 12 up, 12 down. And Tom Doherty. Round 3 of match play. Final game of the tournament. Chris Prather. Some off there. 12 in a row. He's pumped up. Yeah. Got it done here in Mooresville yesterday. All smiles for Chris.
That was a crazy shot, Prather's. I mean, he lofted the daylights out of that ball.
Wow, how many feet down lane was that?
Don't try that at home.
No.
He's a strong
3
man.
other games this week. Not tonight, though. They have been challenging the TV pair here in North Carolina, as we expected. Backup ball. Why not try it? Yeah. I mean, the match is over. Simo having some fun in the crowd. Cool trick shot. That's just awesome.
That was a cool way to make that.
Now, LeVaux's going to take on the top seed Sean Rash for the title here in Mooresville tonight. He's wrapped this one up. So the scene is set. The number 2 seed, Francois Lavoie from Canada, will take on the top seed, Sean Rash, looking for his 3rd major. What a title tilt on the way here on CBS Sports Network. It's updated. Go Bowling Road to the finals. Our U.S. Open step ladder bracket. Rash, Lavoie, the only match left to go. They'll bowl for the title here in North Carolina. Great to see Paul Kreitz here with Tom Clark, PBA Commissioner, General Manager Victor Lanes, our host here, and Paul and Marshall go way back. You were roommates when on the PBA tour?
It was 1974 and 1975. Was Paul Kreitz, myself, and another bowler by the name of Dean Asami. You know, money was short back then. You had to triple up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great Bowling Center. Sold out here tonight. And they're bowling for that trophy and big prize money.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our top seed from Montgomery, Illinois, Sean Rash.
That's Chicagoland and the top seed who's been waiting a long time to bowl here, Mark.
We'll see what kind of look he has early. Lavoie looked pretty cool, as he always does, but he looked in control in that game. And, you know, it's just a matter of putting the ball in the pocket. This isn't, they're not out there looking for 5-6 baggers. They're just trying to hit the pocket, steal a double, make your marks. Rash starting way inside, as far further to the left than anyone we've seen all night, even further than Belmo.
And look at the loft.
And that's an interesting opening salvo from Sean Rash.
Let's keep an eye on that. All right, now Lavoie.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our number 2 seed from Canada, Francois Lavoie.
From Quebec City originally, started bowling at age 2, he told us last night. Mom was not a bowler, but Dad sure was. And he was the tag-along little kid who just kind of fooled around in the back room, moving little low-weight balls around in the shoes. He'd reshuffle all the shoes. And finally said, Francois, stop shuffling the shoes. I imagine they said it in French. Get out there and bowl. And he's loved the game ever since.
Yeah, he's a heck of a player.
All 10 back. 2016 U.S. Open, one for the ages. Francois Lavoie not only won the event in Vegas, in the process rolled a perfect 300 game in the semifinal match, knocking off John Maldonado. It's the first ever 300 game at a U.S. Open show ever. Championship match, Lavoie knocked off Marshall Kent 228-196, becoming only the 2nd international player to win the event. Mika Koivuniemi. Major Mika from Finland won it in 2001.
And we were there on the call.
Memorable night.
It was. An early double.
Left lane. Looks good.
Could not throw it any better. And that is the reaction you would expect out of Francois Lavoie. Very much inward, doesn't show any of his cards.
Big loft, way inside, left lane. Now, what does Sean Rash have in mind on the right? He's
much
inside.
earlier. That ball was down.
Shot.
Excuse me, that ball was down much earlier on the lane. And he's throwing a different ball on the right lane than he threw on the left. That didn't work. Make your spare. Keep yourself in this game.
Drastic difference between the two lanes, that's for sure. Numbers for Rash. Big time ball speed.
We'll take a look at the difference between where Sean plays on the left-hand lane. That ball hits at about the 27 board and was lofted 15 feet. Francois, much more direct. Over about the 4th arrow. Rash trips the 4-pin. Lavoie, high flush. There's that loft again.
Left lane lofts.
Oh my gosh, that ball ran out of gas. Woo! Yeah, that is very odd for a professional to hit that much of the pocket and have the ball bounce off the 5-pin. We'll see the good trajectory. Lots of loft. Watch the ball just bounce off the pocket. I mean, that ball was tired.
He's got that.
A good spare.
2 majors for Sean Rash in his great career, 2012 TOC in Vegas, 2007 Masters in Milwaukee.
Oh, he's been a top player for a
long time.
For a long time now.
8 shows this year, 2 wins, 4 runners up, 4th place. So he was really proud when we talked to him last night of his season.
Yeah.
And what a way to finish it out if you could take this title. Lavoie has other ideas. Perfect shot, crunching that 1-3 pocket, all 10 back.
Now I know Francois bowled a 300 game in 2016, but if, as we see just another picture perfect shot from Lavoie.
Got to be thinking about it.
Ball's coming.
No, he's not thinking about 300.
Too early. Can I think about it?
He might be thinking about how nice it was to start with 3 in a row.
2 wins over Rash this week. That's probably in his mind at the moment, or at least
could be
beforehand. Tries for the front 4. Left lane. Another one.
Oh, that ball held pocket. That ball looked like it was a little bit left off his hand, and he actually showed some emotion.
Lavoie leads by 31. Rash bowling 4th frame.
This ball really does hold down the lane. And Lavoie, he likes it.
Doesn't smile much. Not
no, it
very
doesn't.
outgoing
He doesn't.
with his emotion.
He
We didn't get him to smile at all last
doesn't
night.
show much of anything.
Even the selfies, he wouldn't smile. He's focused. Right lane. 4-pin. That could have been a lot worse for Sean Rash.
Yeah, lucky just to leave the 4-pin. Lavoie looking to be, I believe, the 12th multiple champion of the U.S. Open. This ball was nice off his hand, but it doesn't get far enough to the right, and it jumps the pocket, and it could have been a disaster, just the 4-pin.
You got a re-rack, please?
Sean told us last night, it's such a big night. And you as a bowler, your tremendous career, he said we go down in history by how we do in the majors.
That's true.
We wanted so badly to win this one. Bowl TV delivers live multi-channel coverage of the PWBA Tour, Team USA, USBC Collegiate and Youth Tournaments, plus watch hours of new instructional videos, classic bowling telecast, and behind-the-scenes content each month Visit bowltv.com to subscribe today. Bowling lives here. There's a loft, left lane.
And through the face, and lucky
Six-pin.
just to leave the 6-pin. But right now, Rash is going to need some help. Need help from Lavoie, as Lavoie is seemingly locked in.
That ball's cooking.
Yeah, he throws it hard.
Throws that spare ball hard.
By 33, double in.
Lavoie is the king of composure. I mean, he just stays within the moment, makes his shots.
Looks for the front five and a 43-pin lead.
Right now, he just wants to make sure he keeps that ball in the pocket.
He does that.
Oh, beautifully
And
done.
crunches 10 back into the pin. Those pins had no chance. And he's up by 43 pins, in command of the championship match.
That's it, folks. Just put the ball there. You don't need mega power if you can put the ball right there.
Strike here, and he's halfway home to doing it again.
It can't happen. It's just the lanes are too tough for everybody except Francois Lavoie.
Looking for the front six. All right. Marshall was right about
Well,
that.
and
3, 6,
that's
7, 10.
and as I said, Rash needs to have Lavoie give him some help. So 3, 6, 7, 10, and something it bounced off the ball. That ball came out of the pit, bounced off the ball, and fortunately for Rash, it didn't knock the 7-pin over. But we've seen this made twice, the same similar configuration by Simonson. It's just as I said, the baby split with a little company on the left. Very makeable.
Strike streak over. Spare.
Keeps all of the momentum going in his favor. Right now, Lavoie, he looks unstoppable.
True legends of the game. The event that started back in 1941 as the BPAA All-Star. Now the U.S. Open here in 2019. Great crowd, standing room only in Mooresville, North Carolina. Watching Francois Lavoie go for a second career U.S. Open. Sean Rash is in a huge hole. Marshall, what's he thinking about right now?
Well, he just got to make good shots and hope, you know, for a error from Lavoie. It's right now working at a 2:30 pace as we've got a ball change for Rash. Liked it off his hand, didn't get far enough to the right, goes through the heart. He's still looking. You know, when they were showing that montage of all the bowlers that have won the U.S. Open, the older gentleman at the start, that was Andy Varapapa, for those who didn't know, one of the greatest trick shot bowlers and greatest bowlers in the history of our game, as Rash goes through the heart, leaves a 6-10. Good cover, he's staying clean, and you would think in the title game of the U.S. Open on difficult conditions that 95 in the fifth would be right in the hunt to win, but with Lavoie starting with 5 in a row, he's in a big hole.
Nice name there, the Roth Holman doubles title in addition to the Wolf Open. 2 titles this year for Sean Rash. So it's not easy to win the U.S. Open from the #1 seed position. We talked about that last night and today, Marshall. Why is that?
Well, you're coming in cold, and your opposition just won the semifinal match, so he's got some momentum going. He hates it. That ball just fell off his hand.
Fine idea. Bad shot.
Last top seed to win, 2015, Ryan Simonelli. It's been a while.
You heard what Sean Rash said. He said, right idea, bad shot. So you have to have the combination of being in the right place on the lane with the right piece of equipment and then making the great shot on top of it.
This is such a tough event to win. No one has successfully defended a title since Dave Husted in 1996.
Dave Husted, a three-time U.S. Open champion.
A long time back-to-back winners.
Yeah.
Don Barrett won last year in Wichita. Ronald Page before that, and then Francois Lavoie in 16 in Vegas. His 7th frame. Works on a spare. Up by 44 and in command.
Came in high as last time, but made the split.
Crossed over, 6-pin.
Yeah, left off his hand, and maybe he's getting ahead of himself right now, thinking about how he's got this seemingly wrapped up. Worst shot of the match for him. And yet it almost strikes. Couldn't have an easier spare. I don't believe in the commentator curse. I was very confident that the 6-pin is really for a right-handed bowler. That's about as easy as it gets.
You like a re-rack? Asking our tournament director, Kirk Von Kruger.
And if he's taking a re-rack, is that because he doesn't like the rack, or does he just need a moment to try and settle himself down? Only Francois would know.
Stat pack breakdown for you. It opens for either in this championship match, so emblematic of the fall of Jason Belmonte tonight. 148 for Belmo, his lowest ever TV score in his career.
I'm sure he won't lose any sleep over that. It's just he wants to win, and if he doesn't win, it doesn't matter what he shoots. That looked left as well.
And it was 3-6 up.
Looks like Lavoie steering the ball right now, but he's in good shape. We'll see this ball just never get far enough to the right. Fortunate, it just leaves the 3-6. He makes it. Doesn't get hurt at all. Right now, the best that Rash can shoot is 222, I believe. Lavoie working at a 233 pace.
Solid, no problems. His mindset right now, Marshall, where do you think Francois Lavoie is?
He knows all he has to do is fill frames. So it's just quality shot. Just make quality shots, fill your frames. Doesn't need to strike. And he may not have to do anything depending on what Rash does in this shot and the one in the 9th. Rash has shown no signs of being able to find the pocket on this right-hand lane. And that is that.
Not meant to be.
Big 5. You know, you try so many different things, and just a little lacking of speed, a little too far to the left, goes right through the heart. Many names for that split. It's just ugly. And right now for Rash, 195 has pretty much wrapped this up. He becomes the 12th bowler to win 2 U.S. Opens. What a way to come back after a slump. Win one of the biggest tournaments in the game.
Francois would not have envisioned himself in this position at the start of the tour season.
No way.
Lots of loft again, that left lane, and it's all 10 back.
Yeah, that's the shot that worked early in the game for him.
Ball by 58, bowling, 9th frame.
Up by 58, right lane. All 10 back again. Francois Lavoie is going to win the 2019 U.S. Open. His 2nd career Open. His 4th career title. C'est excellent. Tonight in North Carolina.
I think what Lavoie's feeling right now is almost a little bit of disbelief to have the extended slump that he's had and then to get it together and win this tournament. I mean, quite unlikely. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
He told us at the start of the season he was lost. Not competing well. Mental physical game wasn't there. Tried a total re-rack on his game. And he's come all the way back.
Congratulations. Very well impressed. Thank you very much.
To become the US Open champion in Mooresville, North Carolina tonight. Francois Lavoie has done it.
Congratulations.
Now we see him celebrating. Yeah, there's the smile.
Don't worry, bro. Thank you. Thanks. I got our shot out of it.
Tour rep Tim Mack and Anthony Simonson all celebrating with Francois Lavoie tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
We'll hear from the happy champion in a moment. Francois Lavoie has done it in Mooresville. The front 5, 6 strikes, and Francois Lavoie never looked back, winning the US Open over Sean Rash. Marshall Holman, lane level, has the trophy and jacket presentation.
All right, Dave. And with the trophy, excuse me, the jacket presentation, Randy Thompson with the president of the BPAA, he'll give you your beautiful jacket. His emblem says the win of the U.S. Open.
Thank you. On behalf of BPA and his 3,600 bowling centers nationwide, congratulations. And I offer you this jacket.
Thank you very much.
All right. Melissa McDaniel, she's here with the trophy, your great trophy.
On behalf of USBC and all of its members, congratulations on your U.S. Open championship.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Francois, careful with that thing. It's like a weapon. So, your second U.S. Open championship coming in a year where you've been struggling. Where did this come from?
Oh my God, there's so much work that's gone into this. Like you said, I've been struggling for the beginning of the year a little bit, and really wasn't happy with my performance and how things were going. So, decided to just go back to basics. I talked with so many people, the Storm reps that are here, Team Canada coach Ty Rose. We put in so much work, just going back to basics, doing what I know how to do, and worked on a lot of mental game, if you will. I wasn't in a good spot, and I feel like I regressed a little bit with what I was before, and I feel like now I'm close to where I want to be, a lot better mentally and physically.
Well, you're so calm when you're bowling, and it was fun for me because I've always been an emotional player, an emotional person. To see you after you won, with your ball rep and your friends, really enjoying yourself. Congratulations, two-time U.S. Open winner.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, Mooresville. Thank you.
Francois Lavoie, he's your winner. Dave.
Marshall, Francois, thanks so much. Congratulations to Francois Lavoie, winner of the 2019 U.S. Open here in Mooresville, North Carolina. For my Hall of Fame broadcast partner, Marshall Holman, the entire CBS Sports Network crew, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Victory Lanes in Mooresville in association with the United States Bowling Congress. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. The night belongs to Francois Lavoie.